Module 7, Objective 5 defines somatic motor pathways and understand that there are numerous pathways, each carrying different input to the skeletal muscles for control. The somatic nervous system is the portion of the nervous system that controls the contraction of skeletal muscles. Somatic motor pathways always involve at least two motor neurons. You have an upper motor neuron and a lower motor neuron. Both conscious and subconscious commands control skeletal muscles by traveling over three integrated motor pathways. Here they are. We'll go over each one individually. The cortical spinal pathway provides voluntary control over our skeletal muscles, and this pathway begins within those pyramidal cells of the primary motor cortex. Again, this is the precentral gyrus that we noted as part of the posterior most border of the frontal lobe of the cerebral cortex. The axons descend into the brainstem and spinal cord, and they ultimately synapse on the lower motor neurons that control the skeletal muscles. The motor homunculus is a functional map of the primary motor cortex, or that precentral gyrus, and it corresponds with the specific regions of the body, very similar to what we saw with the sensory homunculus previously. The motor homunculus indicates a degree of fine motor control that is available for the hands or the face or the tongue, and these three regions are very large in terms of surface area, while the trunk is relatively small. Here we see the motor homunculus on the primary motor cortex. In this case, it's the left cerebral hemisphere. And you can see how the face and the hands are very large, so they have more surface area dedicated to them, mainly because of the amount of skeletal muscle in these structures and the ability to fine-tune the actual motor control over these structures. So here we see that the signals start up here at the primary motor cortex. They then descend down the spinal cord. At some point they cross over to the opposite side, and then they're going to be sent out via the lateral route to the effector, to the skeletal muscle. The medial pathway controls muscle tone and gross movements of the neck, trunk, and proximal limb structures. The upper motor neurons are located in the vestibular nuclei, the superior and inferior colliculi of the corpora quadrigemina of the mesencephalon, as well as the reticular formation. And then the lateral pathway. This controls muscle tone and precise movements of the distal parts of the limbs. So axons of the upper motor neurons of the red nuclei, they cross, descassate, they cross in the brain, and they descend into the spinal cord via the rubrospinal tracts.